Greetings, mortals. I am Natas, the ruler of the underworld, and today we will be reacting to the newest chapter, officially released, of Four Nights of the Apocalypse. Chapter 137, titled Forest of Sloth and Envy. Which, considering the spoilers for the next chapter, I feel like it would make more sense to call the next chapter The Forest of Sloth and Envy, but whatever. I guess it's supposed to hype us up for the next couple. I guess for the next arc, because we've spent quite a bit of time with the characters in Camelot, encountering Betrope, talking with Palgai, that whole thing. I feel like you could probably call that this little portion pretty much the first arc. Like, this is like one of those things where it's kind of difficult to say if it should be considered its own thing or if it's some connected to something else. But I feel like this could probably be considered its own little arc. But yeah, anyways, we have the first page, which is kind of a continuation or connects to the previous chapter, where we have Gopher's cut off arm using its magic as Pelgot is holding his face, trying to look like he's struggling while I think he's just getting information passed into him. As they have angry Pelgot face, like, Mindstorm, don't give me that, you! As then we have the heroes being, oh shit! This not gonna work, as they have Pelgot screaming, none of your cheap tricks could work against Pelgot's iron will! As he starts whirling his mace. It's like, besides, you're far too wounded to bring out 100% of your power! It's basically, I think we all know what's going on here, but I'll wait until it's stated in the chapter itself. As then we have Pelgot ending his whirling as he directs it towards the characters as he uses funeral pyre, as then everyone gets surrounded by tornado or flames, as everything around them is getting burnt to a crisp. As then we have Anne saying, a flame storm? I would say a tornado, but whatever, if it's a flame storm to you, it's a flame storm. As Anne screaming, it's fully incinerating! It's fully incinerating us! As the trees and everything gets burned to a crisp. Not very much safety in the forest, right? Maybe Pelgot just has enough control of the fire that it doesn't spread around. As there is a tree being like slowly burned to ash and even further. As if Donnie screaming, it's all over! How the hell do we escape this? As if Donnie screaming, he really was our enemy all along. I mean, Donnie, Pelgot did state that he's your ally and he's your friend and enemy. It's not like you shouldn't surprise that he was going to attack you. You know the situation, and Gopher even explained it to you in the last chapter. As then we have a serious Pelgot face, like no, the same. He has the same face as he had like during the talk, but unlike there, where he was more like serious chill face, this is like a more serious displeased face. As Pelgot says, don't resent me for this, you. That vortex of flame converges towards its center, burning down anything in its range. I guess he's just trying to explain how that works to everyone. As then we have Donnie being screaming in heat, go for being unaffected. I'm assuming it's more of a he's aware what's going on and all, so he's not really caring. Then we have Anne supposedly being kind of like protected by the civilian, by the brother for some reason. Like, I don't know, like between the two of you, I feel like Anne is more likely to handle fire than you are. I mean, I know you're both kidding her, but again, she's a fucking knight, you knew not. As then we have Pelgot words as that the other Chaos Knight is, I guess, regrouping with Pelgot for safety, I guess, since this is a high level fire magic going all over the place. As Pelgot just says, I'm glad we were able to talk today. Farewell. As there was like this giant, this guy looks like a fire egg, burning everything around it to ash. As then after some minutes, when the fire starts to come down and it's just a bunch of smoke coming out, we see the extent of the damage. And we see like this giant hole just of burnt ash and everything around it. As we see that four? Or maybe more of his, of these snooty guys who Knights empties are regrouping with him to like inspect the area. As they will have this snooty guy be like, I knew you had that you in you, so Pelga, there's no saving them, no! As he's celebrating, as then he's like, and look, that girl's rapier, hee hee, hoo hoo, what a menace you are! As we see her and rapier is like completely burned, like, I mean, it's still somewhat holdable, like this guy's holding it, which, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be a pain in the ass to remove from the armor, but maybe Chaos armors are easier to clean. But like you have the rapier like completely bent down and crooked. Like we have the little heel melting away. Like everything is basically done. As then we have the snooty guy as well as two of the ants kind of starting to dance. Like yes, yes, go, go, Pelgot, go, go, Pelgot. As they're all kind of celebrating and cheering for Pelgot, which I mean we all know what really happened, but it's kind of funny how he's not celebrating on it. I do wonder if Pelgod is going to inform at least after that he's not entirely set, just to like, okay, again, like it's difficult to get to scale the four evils as knights themselves. I mean, we all can scale them against sins, and sins are kind of in their own league, so it's kind of difficult. But it does make me kind of wonder if Pelgod is going to reveal too often once this report comes in. Is like, I'm not certain if I killed them. I know that was definitely supposed to have killed them, and that's and that should have, but I'm not entirely certain. I would expect at least a few bodies to remain, since Rapier remained. So I do have to wonder if Pelgot's gonna stay that to offer himself, even if he keeps this guy and his empties just like cheering and dancing around. As then we have Pelgot with a smile on his face. I'm assuming talking a very either either a very quiet tone to himself mostly, or if he's gonna tell, or he's saying just normal tone as he says, "Let us meet again," which he might explain to them that he didn't sense them being burned in. In fact, he'd sensed them disappearing or something. So we have to wait and see on that front. But whatever, we cut to the main characters because we won't. Well, the characters here, since we all knew they were not going to be killed by Pelgot here. As we have Anne waking up, we have Sylvain and her brother waking up, we have Donnie waking up. As they see a girl holding a staff, as the girl says, I think Donnie's saying this, "We're alive, where are we?" As we see Tenek there, who I guess didn't get any get any kind of redesign, which makes sense. He's barely appeared in the story. As we have Teta saying, "Britannia, you're fine now." As we have them all slowing up, as I was like, "Oh, my head hurts." As they're all kind of surprised by this. As Donnie screams, "Tatas!" As then we have Gopher coming to Tatas like, "You came through for us, Tatas." As Tatas responds to him like, "Yeah, thanks a lot for occupying my entire lunch break." Yeah, I do have to wonder. Are these characters really in the middle of these things where they say you've interrupted my whatever? Are they actually doing those, or are they just trying to be snarky or something? Because I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit more of a snark. I wouldn't be surprised if she was actually waiting here in Word for the whole time. It's just she said snack break because she wanted to, lunch break. Anyways, then we have Don be like, "Gopher, how did we survive that? Explain to us, not to the readers. The readers probably guessed this already." As then Don says, "We were surrounded by flames, and then, huh?" As then we have Gopher saying, "That whirl of flame consumed all the vegetation around around our ground, creating an ideal space for the door to be generated for us." As we see like a visual of it. Which honestly I don't think it was that big, because I mean it was big, but I didn't think it was that big to point it would be able to access a portal. I mean it was kind of guessable they were going to escape some way, but it's kind of supposed that it was the size of it. As we have and be like, "So it was by pure luck?" As it goes like, "No, Pelgod's help was a must for it." As then the Oni and Anna like again showing their inexperience on this field, as they're like, "Huh?" As I was like, "But didn't he attack us?" As the Gopher explains, "Do you recall the spell cast by that severed left arm of mine? This is called Broadcast. that is called broadcast. Through it, I transmitted information about how the door will work and told him to make it look I I attacked them. So yeah, basically it was a different attack. Oh, it was a false attack. As then we have Go saying he was clever enough to create that flame hiding us from the other Chaos Knight and ensuring we had a safe escape route. Personally, I would just kill that guy since the guy didn't seem that particularly physically strong. Those empties don't seem to be that movable on their own. So, but whatever. If you guys want to go with a deception play, then you can play the deception card. As they have go for saying, and I'll make up for your rapier later. As Anne looks at her waist and she's like, oh, she doesn't have a rapier anymore. As we see that Gopher, well, they were probably all raving from the pain, and Gopher took her rapier and he threw it there to be burned, melted and everything. As Gopher says, I made sure it was left there for evidence. That no way nobody will suspect Palga did a thing. Well, I would say it more leaves to the possibility that you guys escape. Well, it doesn't mean that Palga didn't do a thing, like, alright, it's not clear if he knew about how you escaped, but you could probably still have. Or you could still have. Someone could probably still find a way to investigate to see if you actually are finished, and you and find out that you're not finished, but you could probably be less likely to be blamed on Palga. It will be more like they used your attack again to escape kind of deals. As they have Donnie being the bitch, is like, so that whole Mindstorm thing you cast on him, as in the Gover just hits him, strikes a pose, hits him some of the head. He's like, I just made that up to for convincing that, which makes sense. Personally, I would just blame that he got to take control of his body so he could be your brainwash ally, but whatever. And then I'm like, about being embarrassed about this situation, like, oh, I always knew Palga was a good guy. I'd be like, that's not what you said 2 seconds ago. I mean, to be fair, yeah, but to be fair, Donnie only said that he's their enemy, not that he's not a good guy. You pretty much look at confirm that he is a good guy, but whatever. And then after that's kind of like breaking this explanation rule. Is like, and she probably hits. I imagine that she probably hits the staff on the floor, on the ground every time to get everyone's attention when they're talking about something else around her. As the FFT is saying, so, what did you learn this time? Try to get information out as quick as possible because, again, it's her lunch break. As they have Anne saying, a decent amount of new information, yes. Really? I mean, I guess you get some new information. I mean, to be fair, we did skip around a bit with Balgot, so maybe there was some information you got that we didn't know of. But anyways, they have Anne saying, but still not very much about the Cauldron of Infine. I imagine they would ask Palga. I actually forgot about that. I guess the reason why, I guess the time wasn't right. I imagine if they actually were allowed to have like a full day of talk, they probably would mention the Cauldron of Invine, but they didn't. So yeah, they're a bit stuck there. As they have gone for saying that and they still have some fearsome people on their side, as we have Belcheropa there. So I mean, this kind of confirms Belcheropa is at least so far the strongest of the 4 evils, or at least it's hinted to being the strongest. Like that, the unknown one is still a mystery, so we can't tell if that one is stronger than Belcheropa, but it seems like Belcheropa is at least the strongest one amongst the 4 evils, from what we know of. I mean, to be fair, you could say that Gopher is also referring to Palgod, but Palgod's more like an ally depending on the situation. So maybe he's not focusing on him as much as the guy who cut him in half. Well, not in half, cut him in 3 pieces. As there we have Don be like, is Solde. Okay, we get some interesting information here. We have Don saying, is Solde and Chion are both looking for Tristan too, but no leads yet. Maybe it's safe to assume he is in the Cauldron like we figured. So this reveals that it wasn't Nazians who they were referring to when they were referring to a friend, but Tristan. Because they were not entirely certain. Which, alright, I feel like this was done on purpose. I don't think there's that, I don't think we were that much wrong as much as it was purposely made by the Kaba to make us believe it was nonsense. You know, it's more like it's not odd that Gion, Isolde, and Trishan are on their separate mission while Donnie and Anne are looking for a way to save Nonsense from the cauldron. So it's not that surprising, but this is just gonna confirming it, but just making it clear. So I guess Tristan went away. So looking at the stats of the four nights right now, the main character story, the one who the story's named after is Percival's a soulless corpse that ages, or at least grows somewhat. Lancelot is currently locked up in his room crying himself to sleep. Tristan is who knows where. And the main place where they think that he is in is being in the cauldron, somewhere imprisoned. I imagine he's got a little gruff and all hell. Like, probably that's a pretty boy, more like a man, if you get my drift. So, does that mean Gawain is the only one of the four knights who is actually doing anything for Leonis? I mean, I know we don't have a reference here, just this kind of. I mean, okay, I know that this is like a good character development, like a good showing of how much Gawain has grown despite her not having much screen time. In a short, the fact that the first time she was introduced, she literally left the palace just so she could find some beautiful women to sleep with, and now she's the only one that seems to be doing anything for the fight against Camelot. At least I'm assuming that would be the case since they mention that Tristan's unknown. They don't mention Lancelot here because we know where Lancelot is. They know where Percival is, so that leaves only Gawain. So where's Gawain? What is Gawain doing? Especially since it's implied at least that she's not with Isolde and Gion, because I feel like they would mention like Gawain's team. If Gawain replaced Trisha, I feel like they would mention that she's at least reference her here. So I'm assuming she's doing something else. Maybe because she's the only one that's of the four knights who is currently up with them. Maybe she's trained privately. I don't really know. I'm assuming we are gonna get it. Like, I feel like if there is something unknown, they would be mentioned here. But so far, it seems like Gawain is just somewhere else. I imagine we're gonna see her when we cut to like Leonis or Leonis or someone of them are doing. Like, honestly, it could be like I could see it be a meeting. Like, they are kind of foreshadowing the 7 cents meeting up with their old kingdoms and all that. So I could see like them us finding out what Gawain is doing right there. Maybe it's like she's gonna be staying there like a bodyguard for Melios or something. But yeah. Anyways, we didn't have Donnie telling Tatas, "Hey, is His Majesty doing okay?" Because again, his side's not missing. Tatas tells Donnie, "Well, yes, on the surface." I'm assuming that she could probably like I don't know if Elizabeth would confide in Tatas or if it's like one of those she stands outside or stands so close to them that she will know what's going on. But it's not much she can, but she probably just is aware of the situation more. Anyways, then we have Tatas looking by herself her eye into the ball that was bought here. It's like, As in, we have Anne telling her, right, this man fled Camelot alongside us. As he's finally acknowledged. As like, oh, but your sister. As, she doesn't know that she disappeared yet, but because, it's fun. I mean, right now, Anne probably thinks, oh, he left her in, he kept his word. Well, he went with her, like she said, not take anyone from Camelot with them, or, not take anyone with them because she would disappear all, but the bottom is like, yeah, it's not your fault. I just accepted that she's dead. And she disappeared. Instead of Anne being like, she's an empathetic. She shows her empathy here. It's like, I'm sorry, I said all those terrible things without thinking. Oh, so I was like, he'd said worse things to you without thinking, more than you did to him, but whatever. As they have this Bobby like, don't worry about it. You saved both of us multiple times. I think he's referring to his sister, even though she wasn't real. He still cares about her the same way. As if he tells her, my name is Boss. Not sure if that's a reference to something, or that's like a character in a fun lore. Not sure if that's a character that appeared previously in Time and Sins, but he tells his name and says, and as they shake on it, and the end of that part. Like, I'm not sure if Boss is gonna become a character later on. Like, is he gonna become like one of the many holy knights? that we see like across, the guys we know their names are, but how much they participate is another question. I'm not sure he's gonna become one of those guys, but maybe he will. I don't know. I mean, he does have the build for a Holy Knight, I would say at least. As they have done saying, not to change the subject, but go for if you're free, pay a visit to the palace to get fixed up. King Bond paid an unexpected visit yesterday, referring to after he beat Ironside's ass that he would go have like a meeting with the Sins. So yeah, I feel like we might be going to a meeting with all the Sins going on, as they would have go for like poking his head off his body. He's like, alright, I'll gladly pop my face in then, as Donnie just immediately boo! Because yeah, that's a bit of a weird visual, popping it out and all. As they would have go for asking Tatas, did you tell King at the end too? As in that's like, more or less. But you know them. The fairies and John's sense of time can be so loose. Which is true. Like that's actually the reason why they were not at the wedding for Meadows and Elizabeth. They didn't know when they fought the they used the giant and fairy scale for age for time passing, not the human scale. Which is fine, so I think humans can outlive both. Well, wait, can humans outlive both? I don't know. They're all basically very old. Yeah, they can all live for eternities. Basically, only physical death can pretty much. Only physical damage can actually kill them. But yeah, but they still don't have an idea about time. Anyways, then we cut to the fairy realm as we see like a giant, bunch of giant mushrooms. Now this is the first time we are seeing the fairy realm in the universe, or we saw it in the Saturday Sense. We probably did see it in the Saturday Sense if we've been honest. As we see some fairies flying around, as then we see someone be like, "Here's a plucking out a little fruit." I'm guessing he's like, "Here's a rare one, a mutated belladonna plant." As they have some fairies talking, like, what is a human like you doing here? This is the holy forest of the fairy king and giant queen. I guess despite Camelot and all, I guess they're still discriminating against fairies. Are still discriminating against humans, even though it's way past. They're very much aligned with a human group and all the history they had working together against the demons in the Holy War. As then we have Nausea be like, killing me again, Theoria? Which shows this is more like, tease, like a jokey, like a ha ha ha, kind of, oh, you're in trouble now. As they have Theoria swooping down, as we see that Theoria is a beautiful, humanoid-sized 16-year-old girl wearing a very short skirt. Fan service. As we have Tora be like, ha, you saw me. And she's real cheeky as they have this person saying, as this person has like a really long hair, be like, is this alright though? Your mother and father don't like you being with me very much, do they? Referring to King and Diane because this is one of their kids. So people can finally stop screaming about the King and Diane's kids. We all see them. Next chapter, all 7 of them. There might be a reference to the sins, which makes me think Theora might be a reference to the sin of lust, but that's besides this point. As they have Theora be like, no, that's not true at all. Mom and Dad are crazy in love with you. As they have this one saying, oh, don't try to gloss it over. I know a lot of fairies disdain humans. Wait, why do the fairies disdain humans exactly? I guess it's maybe the prejudice or something. Maybe it's a whole. It's probably the whole. What's his name? What's the guy's name that was in Grudge of the Emperor? Hendrik? No, not Hendrickson. Daft Pierce, probably him if you ask me. It's probably because of him, the whole, turning people into chaos freaks. But yeah, anyways, then we have Theora grabbing this character's head, and she's like, I just told you, that's not true at all, hey, listen to me, And she screams, Nauseans, as we see Nauseans in our I don't know if it's the short, to be fair, just to be fair, foreheads are ugly as all hell. Maybe it's that, but we see Nazian's face, and I don't know why. His haircut just looks weird. I don't know why, but sometimes like his hair just is oddly shaped. Like, I don't know why. There's something just odd about it. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's like, it should be a bit longer, I think. That's I think the problem with Nazian's right now. His hair is just generally too short, in my opinion, on the forehead front. Foreheads are a sin! An actual sin, not a silly sin. But yeah, anyways, I guess Nazians was just staying in the fairy fair realm for the entire time where everything was going on. As they have Nazian telling Tiore, I'm going to the Tunnel of Whispers to test out a new medicine. Do you want to join me? I guess Nazian at least polite to her so she can. I mean, she won't be around and you can join me on this thing. Is it Turbic? Yeah, but wait, there again! Which makes me feel like he visited so often that she's kind of bored at this point of that place. And that's just like, yes, as they go into the Tunnel of Whispers, as we can very much assume, well, we can guess, and in the next chapter confirm that that's where not Percival is staying at. I'm assuming there's some kind of connection with the spirit world or the soul spirits. Or life spirits, yeah, life spirits that maybe one time Percival is gonna the most likely chance place for Percival's life spirit to come back into the body or something. Personally, I would wonder more if it's the possibility of some other life spirit gets inside, but whatever. I mean, it's still speculation. As they have Nazian saying, the resting place of my hero. As we have them enter, as we get another confirmation of just how short Theona's skirt is. And considering apparently giants or fairies, I think one of the two, don't really wear underwear underneath their outfits. Oh, I feel like there's she's definitely the sin of the lost. Plus, it makes kind of sense. So yeah, anyways, then we get some narrations like, next time, lead colors in thanks to the response to the new arc and the favorable reception of the TV anime, marking the inmost parts of the Fairy King's forest. Na's invitation to the place where the hero sleeps, awaiting them there is. So yeah, they're going there. I wonder if Theona's gonna be like a more relevant member of the not a important side, more of a minor character, but like one of those more minor characters that gets referenced a lot. Kinda like the Holy Knights were in some sense. As we get next chapter 183 titled Nazians in the Fairy King's Forest. Which is pretty much true for that chapter, although that chapter might be should be referring to more to that son, probably the oldest son of that, than just the Fairy King Forest. But whatever. I mean, I honestly feel like I'm not honestly not entirely certain that the writer of the Nakaba didn't kind of like overly. Then honestly, I'm not entirely certain that Nakaba wasn't entirely certain what to title this chapter, so he just decided to get titled Fairy King Forest, and the next one, Nazians in the Fairy King's Forest, because again, they're like very simplistic titles, but whatever. So yeah, anyway, this chapter was a basic, like, again, if my favorite about this being the Alvin arc, this chapter was pretty much a good wrap for that. For the journey, like, the characters escape, we get, like, a setup, we find out more about where the main characters are, we get some questions answered, and yeah, we're kind of building up to the reunion with the 7 Sins, or 5 Sins. Well, which is fine, only one of them is that, but whatever, we get like a review, and we get a lot of like things for the like in between chapter, but there's nothing that special. And what I feel like everyone from the fan base is just gonna be happy they finally get to see the Island King's kids, because they were scared about like pretty much every time. So yeah, now they finally get the kids they want, and with that, this chapter ends. So anyways, I hope you like this chapter reaction. I hope you leave your thoughts on this chapter in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.